What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Tony Smiles, and today we have our special guest back. Thank God that he came back because Game 3 was crazy. Was crazy. 18 innings. Oh my Lord, just to get a score of 6-5. Wow. Hey, Professor G, welcome back. What do you think about Game 3?
Game three was a fantastic game. First of all, I want to thank you again for having me on your show, and I appreciate you again being here. It's an honor for me to be here at the show. But game three was an amazing game of strategy. Both managers, Dave Roberts and Schneider, man, they strategized. They were replacing players and changing things and changing lineups. It was a fantastic game. Fantastic game.
Man, I tell you, I was not expecting something like this. I think this is one of the most historical World Series. Maybe I think this is the second time that a World Series has gone 18 games. Like it was a
Yes.
complete game all the way to 18, bottom of the eighth. It ended at the bottom of the 18th. Excuse me, 18. Um, but let's recap game two real quick, and then we can go into game three and specifics on game three. What the Dodgers did right and what Toronto did wrong in order to get it's 2-1 now, right?
It's 2 games to 1. Dodgers leading 2 games to 1.
Go USA, go Canada, but USA go better.
Yeah.
All right, so hey, go ahead and let the viewers know what game two was like. It went a regular 9 innings, correct?
Yeah, so regular 9 innings. The game, first of all, the Dodgers scored first in the first inning. It was a single by Will Smith, and it made it 1-0 Dodgers here in the first inning. Nothing happened in the second inning, not until the third inning, where Toronto, Alejandro Kirk hits a sacrifice fly, and center fielder and then George Springer scores on that sacrifice fly. So it makes a 1-1 game in the third inning. Nothing happens in the fourth. Nothing happened in the fifth. Um, on the next scoring will be in the seventh inning, and this is done by the Los Angeles Dodgers. So that we go to the seventh here for the Dodgers. Will Smith homers, a fly right all the way to the left field, and it makes it 2-1 Dodgers right there in the seventh inning. The next score, Max Muncy hits a home run. So the Dodgers again hitting these home runs. The producing of home runs has been the story of the show for this last 2 games. And as you can see later on in game three, that comes to fruition again in game three. And so Max Muncy hits the home run, and that makes it the 3-2 game for the Dodgers there. And then the Dodgers scored 2 more runs in the eighth inning. It becomes 5-1, and Toronto just failed to score since the third inning, and that's pretty much the story. And it was a pitching duel for the most part. For game two, you had Kevin Gausman coming up for the Blue Jays starting off, and then in the second game, you have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, which is really the highlight of the game, where Yoshinobu had a complete game turnout. I mean, he completed this game. Very few people. I mean, it's been years since anybody's done this in the World Series. But it was a very good, well played game. So, what do you think, Tony? I thought that was
Yo,
a great game.
Yamamoto is the man. Yamamoto played a complete game, and that's the story of game two. That's the story of game two. What was the final score of game two?
5-1. That's the
Five
final
to
score.
one. 5-1.
5-1.
And that means Yamamoto kept the Toronto at one the whole game.
Yes.
He was missing in this game. He was
Yeah.
felt that he was missing in this game
Yeah.
because again it was 5-6 and it went 18 innings. Where
Yeah.
Yamamoto
Yeah.
probably would have closed this out early.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Yamamoto. He after the third inning, he just took control of the game, and the Toronto Blue Jays couldn't do anything. That was it. They scored that 1 run in the third inning, and that was it. There was nothing going on after that. Yamamoto was the man, and he showed why he was a great pitcher. He showed that he is one of the best pitchers in baseball. That's what he did.
But going into the game, we both believed, or at least I believed, that the pitching of the two guys that were starting was going to be the deciding factor, and that's not the case of this game. The pitching for the two guys, we talking about, Tyler, correct?
Tyler Glasnow.
Glasnow versus Scherzer.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, dude. I mean, we thought they were going to be the answer to the question. I mean, Scherzer, he was in the World Series. What? He's the first guy to be in the World Series 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, it's been this is his 4th team in the World Series, and definitely he has the experience and he had the upper hand. And as we found out through this game, that both pitchers ran out of gas, like by the 4th and 5th inning, they were running out of gas.
Yeah, they didn't make it past 6. They didn't make it past 6. Tyler Glasnow, he was out by 5. He was done.
Pretty much.
But like I said, the story I thought was going to be, what do you call it? Scherzer has been played in 4 different teams. The Detroit, as you can see on the screen, I don't know if you can see on the screen, but on the screen you can see that Scherzer was on Detroit, the Nationals, Texas Rangers, and now
the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah.
Toronto Blue Jays. Thank you.
Yeah. It's amazing, an amazing career. It's an amazing career, Scherzer.
And what's crazy is that Scherzer was number 31, and Tyler Glasnow is number 31 as well.
Yeah.
You can see them here.
Yeah. Good luck omens.
Number 31.
Yeah.
Then what's crazy is Scherzer was a Met.
Yeah.
But he became a Met. He was a Dodger first.
Yeah.
What happened there, bro? What's the story there? I mean, it ended in an ugly way. It's something about a dead arm.
Yeah. He the Dodgers classified him with a dead arm and tired arm, and the Dodgers didn't feel like they wanted to sign him as the season progressed. And then the Mets just jumped in there and then gave him a 2-year contract and gave him a very, very hefty contract. I'm talking about, this was 30-something, I think 40 million a year or something like that.
I think it was 130 million, if I remember correctly.
It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money, and so Scherzer jumped on it, and so the Mets thought that they were going to have a pretty good pitching staff with having Scherzer, and they also signed Verlander from the Astros. They signed 2 guys, 2 future Hall of Famers. And as it turned out, unfortunately for the Mets, it didn't work out. They ended up trading those 2 guys the year later. They ended up trading those 2 guys. So it didn't work out.
I thought Scherzer was going to be the talking point of the night, but this is why I had it set up this way.
Yeah.
I mean, this was not the pitching duel that we expected. It did not happen. And then when Scherzer was asked to get off the mound, he didn't do what he did during the playoffs, where you can see on the screen that he put the manager out.
Yeah.
He refused to get off the mound.
Yeah.
That story didn't happen, but
no.
But it brings us back full circle to pitching being a big thing in baseball, because I don't even know how many pitchers they had on both teams that came out. We've seen, I don't know, half a dozen on each side.
It was a lot. It was a big. I mean, if you look at the box score sheet, I mean, this was pitchers galore. I mean, I can't even count how many pitchers on the Dodgers side. You're talking about, that's 9 pitchers on the Dodgers side. 9 pitchers they used. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. And so on the Blue Jays side, they chose, I think, just as much. I mean, they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, same thing. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pitchers also on the Blue Jays side. I mean, pretty much put out the whole arsenal for both teams. So both teams strategized with the different arsenals: lefty matchup, lefty matchups, righty lefty matchups, and it was just a combination of some relievers and some starters. That guys that used to start, and now they put them in the bullpen. Because they're in the playoffs. But very very good strategy by both teams. I mean, I tip my hat off to both managers because it's just they did their due. They really did strategize in this game.
I mean,
So
this was the lineup. This was the lineup for the Dodgers. I didn't get the lineup for
mhm.
Toronto, but this is the lineup.
Yeah,
At the end of the
yeah,
night, some of these guys weren't even on.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Some of these guys weren't even on on the team by the time
yeah,
the game was
yeah.
over. Especially Andy
Yeah,
Paint
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Andy not having a good playoffs. Definitely not having a good playoff. He's been really popping the ball up and not getting it. And then at the end of, Dave Roberts had to make a decision. He had to use other players. He finally put Alex Call in the 13th inning. But yeah, man, it was a great game, man. I mean, it was it had me at the edge of my seat. I mean, and there was a couple times where both teams could have scored, and it just didn't happen for them. One way or another. So I don't know, Tony. We couldn't. You want me to start the rundown?
Oh, hey, did you think Otani was magnificent in this series?
Oh man, I tell you, overall, Otani's been really very consistent throughout the playoffs. He showed today that he is still the master. When it comes to as being one of the best designated hitters in baseball and one of the best hitters in all of baseball. I mean, he finished with two doubles, two home runs, and four intentional walks. And the reason he had four intentional walks is because Toronto just didn't want to pitch to him. But the guy was on base 8 times. I believe that is a World Series record, being on base 8 times. I mean, nobody in the World Series history has ever done that. So that's just goes to show you what Shohei Otani has done almost throughout his career. He doesn't he just keeps breaking records one way or another. He's the man. He's the guy that the Dodgers signed. This is the key component for the Dodgers. When the Dodgers were picking up players, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, Shohei Otani was the cog that really they needed, in that lineup to be able to dominate, and the Dodgers are just showing that the lineup looks like it's a little superior right now to almost anybody else's.
Matt, were you surprised to see Kershaw on the mound?
I was very surprised to see him. And he did the job. He took care of that one hitter. There was a left-handed hitter, and Dave Roberts made the call to put him in there in the inning, and he took care of that one batter and kept the game at 5-5, which was very crucial
Yeah.
because there were two men on base during that time, and it was crucial.
No,
And
there was
and
three men on base. I have it on the
three
screen
men on
right
base.
here.
Yeah, it was three. Yeah, there was a third
Bases
man on base.
loaded.
That's right. Because
The 12th inning,
yeah,
and this is the strikeout right here.
yeah, that's right. Because the previous pitcher made it a 3 man on base with a walk. And they brought Scherzer in, and they brought him, so Clayton Kershaw, and yeah, he took care of business, and that was it. That kept the game at 5-5.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then just to quickly close it out before we do the rundown.
Mm-hmm.
That final home run nailed the coffin in the bottom of the 18th inning.
Right.
And who
Right.
ends up doing it? Freeman.
Man, Freeman. Yeah.
Freeman. Look at him running into everybody waiting him at home base to celebrate.
Yeah.
I mean, this was wild. I mean, and the stadium was full. Nobody
Yeah.
went home.
Yeah.
Nobody went home. I mean, I'm pretty sure Cookie Johnson stopped praying at this point because she was
Yeah.
man. Was she praying the whole game or what?
pretty much praying throughout the whole game. I looked at the TV monitor at the seventh inning. She had her head down, praying like this, And I tell you, but you know what?
Yeah.
It was a great game. It was a great game. I mean, everybody was standing up, especially in the later innings. You would think that the energy would go down a little bit. No, the energy was still rising up. There was no empty seats in the stadium. Everybody was standing up. This is what great baseball is all about. I mean, I'm a fan. You're a fan. I mean, this is this. I mean, even though I'm a New York Mets guy, but I'm also a baseball fan, and I love to see the energy in the game. And it was a great game. I mean, again, a strategy between two managers
That's
who
that's the story of the night because the
yeah,
managers were making strategic decisions that if one made a mistake, that was the end of the game because it got to
yeah,
a point at 5-5 from the seventh inning on to the 18th where
yeah,
it was scoreless.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
scoreless. It
yeah,
was a whole new. It was like a doubleheader, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
It
18 is double of 9, correct?
right, right. You're
It was a
taking
doubleheader.
you got a special there, 2 games for one. 2 games
But
for
the
one.
second game was if 5-5 is the cutoff, right? Let's say
Right.
let's stop it at 9, but all the way to 18, from 9 to 18, it
Mm-hmm.
was a complete game of scoreless, and
Yes.
they won by the Dodgers technically would win by 1 point,
Right.
one
Right.
or whatever, but because they started from 1 to 18, it was 5-5, and so it was 6-5 at the end. But still, it's crazy to witness
Yeah.
this in our lifetime. To witness this in our lifetime is phenomenal because I don't think 18 innings in the World Series has been done multiple times.
No. No. It's crazy. It's a game. It was a game of. I mean, these two managers, they weren't playing checkers. They were playing chess. They were trying to anticipate each other's moves. Dave Roberts counters with a left-handed hitter, and then comes the Toronto manager comes out of the, hey, I'm going in with my lefty. It was just, and not only that, there was also a switcheroo of players as well. At the end, you saw that the Toronto gave up some of their better hitting for defense. So they were replaced with defensive players versus offensive players. So Toronto was playing a defensive game overall, and it turned out well. It turned out well for them, but at the end, what gives it away is how can you stop a freight train of Otani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, all these guys, any one of these guys, any one of these power hitters of this lineup can end the game with one home run, and it happened right. This game, the third, it happened right there in the 18th inning. Freddie Freeman hits one. There was a couple times, Tony, that there were some close ones. There was one that to the wall. They hit one to the wall, and it was caught by Varsho, and that means that they were already trying to hit the ball out. They were trying to hit the ball out to end the game. And I know it was a fantastic game.
We talked about it. The one mistake that would happen would end the game. The one
Yeah.
mistake was throwing that fastball down the middle to Freddie
Mm-hmm.
Freeman. Freeman, they underestimated him or something because they wouldn't have thrown that ball down the middle. They've been really cautious not to do mistakes like that because how many times they walk Otani? How many times they would throw the ball 4 times? Look at that.
What times got walked?
How many
Yep.
times they pull out pinch hitters or pinch runners? Like
Mm-hmm.
you saw all the bags of tricks coming out of these two managers. I have to
Yeah.
give it up to both of them, especially the Toronto one. I know, I've been a little hard on Toronto, but I have to give it to the manager of Toronto. And he does have an ace in his thing because he has a Hall of Famer in his dugout that probably, talked in his ear. But I'm going to give the manager the credit of being strategic against
Yeah.
a Hall of Fame, multi-time manager in the Dodgers, World Series winner multiple times, for
Yeah.
him to keep up with him, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that was tremendous. So I take my hat off to Toronto, and hopefully Game 4 is going to be something ridiculous.
Oh man, it's going to be interesting. For Toronto, I mean, you have a bench coach, Don Manley, and all these other expert. They had some really good coaches out there, and they're coaching this team. And it's a well coached team. I mean, look at that. They made it all the way to the World Series. Nobody, I don't think anybody predicted Toronto to be playing the Dodgers in the World Series. I don't think anybody predicted that. I'm sure. I mean, they say Yankees, they say other teams, Seattle, whatever, but Houston, right? Houston's always in the thick of it. The main teams that always compete in the American League, and I don't think no one saw Toronto coming, to be in the World Series competing against the Dodgers. And so far, it's 2 games to 1. Dodgers lead, but they're giving the Dodgers everything they can get. I mean, the Dodgers, this was a well fought 18 innings. They gave the Dodgers everything they deserve. I mean, they gave everything they got. They were not giving up. They were not giving up.
And the longest game we discovered, the longest game was 25 games in 1920.
Yeah, it was 25. It was 25
25
innings
innings.
in the 1920. Yeah, 26 innings in the 1920s, and then there
26
was a
innings.
yeah, and then there was a 25 inning one in 1984, I believe. It was a National League. I think it was Cubs involved with somebody. But yeah, but in the World Series, a couple years back, I mean, the Dodgers were in the 18 inning game. The Dodgers were involved with that. So this is nothing strange for Dave Roberts. He's managed this kind of stuff before. So you can never underestimate Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, because he has the pedigree, he has the championship pedigree, and he's known how to do this. He's been tested. He's battle tested. So
They got
but
they
yeah,
got this close to going to 19 innings because it was 2 outs before that home run.
yeah, yeah,
It was it was 2 outs
yeah,
already. They got this close to going 19 innings because that
yeah.
was the bottom of the 18th, and it was
Right.
Freddie Freeman was the last at bat. Two
Yes.
outs
Yes.
already.
Yeah, and I don't know. What one thing I don't know is how much time this game lasted. I'm gonna double check here real quick
The
the
full
whole
duration,
story,
you mean?
but the overall how many hours? Because I think the hours was like 8 hours or something like 8 hours is the longest game, and the story wrap up. But this is 18 innings, man, of baseball, man. This is historic. I mean,
And
I've
nine of them
never.
almost complete shutout because there was no
Yeah.
scoring at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very well tactical played game.
And
That's
that's
how
a
it was.
perfect segue for us to give the rundown of Game 3 before we go to Game 4 and see what our predictions are for Game 4. So in the first inning we had Glasgow and we had Scherzer uh, on the mound. Uh,
Yeah.
what do you think about that? And take us into first inning and so on.
So the first inning, nothing happened. No, none of the teams scored in the first inning. Very quiet, 1, 2, 3, and nothing happened. The In the second inning, we have Toscar Hernandez hitting a home run into left field in the bottom of the second, and that was the first score of the game. It was so the Dodgers broke ground with the first run of the game. Um, then in the third inning, we have
Hold
Shohei
on a second.
Otani.
I think
Yeah,
something happened in the second inning where there was a
yeah,
delay. There was a delay in calling a strike, and then it was Bershar. Bershar was was uh, was called out at first because he thought it was a walk, and he started walk. The guy on base, he was starting to walk off, and he thought it was a walk. And then Bershar was at first. He tried to take off, and I think that was the first challenge of the game in the second inning.
yeah. They thought the call was a ball four, and it was not. And what's his name from Bo Bichette started taking off, and they just threw the ball to first, and he was out because he it was just a bad play by Bichette. I mean, he should be paying attention to the umpires, to the call, and not paying attention to the game. That's a mental mistake by a it's and Bichette's been in the league. I mean, what, 5, 6 years? he should know better, to just start walking off from first base, and
And you called
and he stopped and really, to be honest, it stops the rally of the team, right? I mean, when you do a mistake like that, it stops a rally. It just really turned Toronto's inning upside down, pretty much.
and then that's when at the bottom of the second, Hernandez hits that home run.
With the bottom of the second, the Dodgers come to bat,
The Dodgers, yeah.
yeah, the Dodgers come and they hit and Teoscar Hernandez hit a home run. Teoscar Hernandez has been a little bit of a hero here and there in some of the games. He went 4 for 7 in this game, 4 for 7. You know, and he did well, and he keeps hitting the ball. Very quietly, he's been producing quietly in that lineup, in the bottom third of the lineup. He's been producing. So Teoscar Hernandez hits a home run there in the second inning. But that's pretty much the score for the second inning.
Third,
Yeah. Yeah, the second. Yeah, and then we got to the bottom of the third, Toronto goes quietly in the third, and then here comes Otani striking again. Yeah, I mean, this dude hits a home run. Yeah, here's where it starts with his, Toy Otani power, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and so the Dodgers just take a 2-0 squeeze, right? So now it's 2-0 in the third inning, and the Dodgers look like they got a little control. But yeah, it's just it's just the Dodgers doing their thing. But things changed a little bit in the fourth inning. Here comes Toronto, right? Here comes Toronto. Here comes Toronto So it starts with Bo Bichette reaches on a fielding error by second baseman Edman, and then Guerrero goes all the way to third, right?
Yep.
So now Alejandro Kirk hits a what?
A
home run.
Three-run home run.
Yeah, this guy, and changes the atmosphere of the game quickly. And little Alejandro Kirk, right? This guy, man, little guy, stocky guy with a power.
He's a cheeseburger, man. I mean, the hamburger. I don't know if you remember the hamburger guy.
Yeah.
In the McDonald's, he was just a hamburger. I mean, that's how Kirk looked. And I got the image there, man. This guy.
Yeah.
This guy. Come on, man. Look at him, bro. Look at him, bro. That home run, strolling straight. I mean, Kirk, man, Captain Kirk over here, bro. This guy, he's a trunk of a man, but Jesus Christ, he got some power. You gotta respect that power.
It went all season long with Toronto. Alejandro Kirk seems to get the big hits sometimes. All season long, he's been doing this. So this is not a surprise. Alejandro Kirk comes in and boom, gives Toronto some type of lead, with a home run or double or some key hit. He just gets on base, man, and he just does it. He does it all the time, and that is kind of like a key ingredient for Toronto, but that comes to play later on, and we'll talk about that as the innings go by, because you were talking about the replacement of players. Alejandro Kirk was taken out of the game, right? He was taken out. Yeah, he was taken out of the game. Yeah, he was taken out of the game because remember they ran for him. There was a pinch runner running for him. Right. So now Toronto. So now Toronto takes the lead. Yeah. So now. Yeah, Toronto takes the lead, and but that's not over. Alejandro gets in there, does that 3-run home run, and then gets it in there, and it's just 3-2 Toronto right now. 3-2. So now we're looking at now the bottom of the fifth, right?
Didn't Hernandez and Barcia score, making it 4-2?
So on the fourth inning,
or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Yes.
He scored and made it 4-2. I think he stole the base. He did some craziness.
Yes. So there's an RBI.
Sacrifice pop-up
or
something.
Yeah, it was a
RBI.
RBI
That's
by
right. That's
Addison
right.
Barger, and that scored the fourth run there. So yeah, so Addison Barger got the RBI there, and
So at this point, Toronto has solidified the lead.
yes, yes, 4-2.
Yeah.
It's 4-2, 4-2. By the fourth inning, it was 4-2,
And then
4-2.
the bottom of the bottom of the fourth was a wash for
The
the
bottom of the
Dodgers.
fourth was a watch. The Dodgers did 1, 2, 3 on that one for the most part.
Scherzer 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he was still in.
Yeah, it got in there. Then in the top of the fifth, the Toronto Blue Jays did not do much in the fifth at all either.
But
Um,
there was a pitching change. That's when it
yes,
started with the pitching, man. They start changing the pitching. Uh,
yeah,
top of the fifth, Banger came, Bengala came in,
yeah,
and I mean, it was 1, 2, 3 after that. So then
right.
the bottom of the so the Dodgers took Tyler out of the game, and
Yeah, Anthony Banda took over after Glasnow. Glasnow pitched 4 innings, and he got 2 outs, and Banda got the third out in the fifth inning.
Got Vasco out
Yeah,
there
yeah,
with
yeah,
Papa.
yeah. Banda got the last out in the fifth inning, and so
That's
yeah,
when the
Glasnow.
pitching changes started.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So that then
Scherzer was still in at the bottom of the fifth for
yeah, he's
Toronto.
still yeah, he was still in it. He was still in it. So he pitched exactly 4 innings, and he got 1 out in the fifth inning, and then he got relieved by Fluharty
But
in the fifth inning.
he did something specifically to get his ass taken out, and the whole like they had a meeting at the mound before the manager came out, and you could see that the rest of the team was on top of him. And then
Mm-hmm.
when the manager got
Yeah.
out there, he nodded in acceptance. He didn't do what he did in the game before. He left
No,
because
no,
I believe Hernandez scored, and the score was 3-4 at the time.
yeah,
And he got
yeah,
taken out.
yeah. The Dodgers were starting to the Dodgers were starting to get hot, and that was putting the game a little more into a little critical point of the game there. So Hernandez. So here's the fifth. Here comes it starts with Shohei Ohtani with a double in the
Yep.
fifth inning.
Yep.
Ohtani, he's involved. He's involved. And then
Yep.
yeah, Freddie Freeman. So then with the double, Shohei Ohtani with the double, Enrique Kike Hernandez scores. That makes it 4-3.
That's right.
So it's 4-3. Now Freddie Freeman singles, and to the right field, and then Shohei Ohtani scores. That tied the game 4-4 with the
4-4. That's right.
right with the Freddie Freeman single.
And the pitching
that
change occurred again.
and the pitching changed again. The rotation changed again.
Then Varland came out.
Yeah, yeah.
To finish off the inning, shut
Right.
out Smith.
Right.
Now we're in the top of the sixth.
We are heading to the sixth, and here we go on the sixth inning.
That was pretty quick. That went pretty quick.
Yeah, right? that was a wash in the sixth inning. That was a wash there. No, there was no scoring by either team in the sixth inning, and now we lead on to the seventh. Here's where things. This is the key. Yeah, another pitching change. And Wroblewski. Yeah.
Yeah, he became the pitcher in the top of the seventh, and he started messing
right.
up.
Right.
What happened there?
Yeah. So in the seventh inning, so here we go in the top of the seventh. We got Bichette singles.
That's correct.
And so that so Vladimir Guerrero scores, made it 5-4 Toronto, and that was the key hit right there. Now Bichette is out of the game at this point because they put a runner for Bichette.
That's right.
So at that point now, Isaiah kind of Kalefa takes over as a pinch runner for Bichette. until later on.
And again,
So,
that goes back to what we were saying originally at the beginning of the broadcast, where the
mm-hmm,
managers are starting to, tactically change the players. They started with
yeah,
the pitching. They started with the pitching. First, the Dodgers got rid of Glasgow.
mm-hmm,
He was a non-factor at that point. And then
right,
Scherzer, he got cooed out of there. There was a coup
right,
to get
right,
dude. Everybody rushed him out and said, "Yo, you gotta go." They
right,
would not let him stay there any longer than he had to. And the
right,
manager
right,
came out. He ain't had no problems with him. But then
right,
here we go. Guerrero scored, and like you said, it was 5-4 to
yeah,
take the lead again. And then
yeah.
and then what happens next? Kirk strikes out.
Yep, that was it. The ends the game there, and then
Ends the
now it's the Dodgers' turn to hit in the bottom of the seventh.
Yeah.
And guess who comes up and does what he does? Guess who that is?
Dominguez.
Shohei Ohtani hits a home run right there in the seventh.
But there was a pitching change.
Yeah, Dominguez. Yeah, that's right. So Anthony Dominguez is a pitcher.
Dominguez is one to blame for that one.
Yeah. So they did a pitching change, and what happened? It didn't work.
It didn't work. Home run by Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, right into center field. Boom, smashed to center field. I mean, it was a no doubter. I mean, everybody in Dodger Stadium was like, "Yep, it's gone. That's gone." No, now the game is 5-5. Right?
Was that his second home run?
That was the second home run. Yeah, second home run.
Man,
yeah, he hit.
It looked just like this here.
Yeah.
Look at Ohtani celebrating.
Yeah.
Look at Ohtani celebrating that home run. Bang.
Yeah.
Seventh inning, 1 out, home run. Dodgers still had 2 outs left.
Yeah.
Let's go. So then what happened next, bro?
Well, nothing happened in the eighth. So the Toronto Blue Jays come up in the 8th inning, and it becomes an exchange of different pitchers, but nothing happened in the 8th inning.
The scoring stopped at 5-5 right there.
Yeah, it pretty much stopped. There's a few.
This is where the tacticals comes in.
Yeah, there was.
You were brilliant. You were brilliant to point that out, where the managers was doing tactical stuff, small little things to make the game last longer and save themselves from going out earlier sooner than later. That was brilliant.
Yeah, it was a lot of there was a lot of so Toronto had there was a couple of walks that happened. Like in the 8th inning, Toronto had a chance to score. They had first and second, and then they did a change of pitching, and then basically Ty France grounds out and Nathan Luke's grounds out in the 8th inning. So with the pitching change, the Dodgers came in there with their lefties and then stopped the game right there.
The
pitching change just changed everything. Yeah, they changed everything. Dave Roberts, using his mind again, said, "I'm going to change my pitchers. I'm taking this guy out. I'm going to use my lefty-righty combinations." And first and second is as far as Toronto went, pretty much in that game. If you think about it.
You saw that when he did it. I remember you pointing it out. Like, look, they're doing this pitching change, so the lefty goes against the righty or something like that. You broke it down. Can you tell me more how that works? Because you already knew what they were doing before they did it.
Well, here's the thing. You bring in Roki Sasaki.
Yes, Sasaki.
Right. You bring in Sasaki to stop the momentum. He throws hard, and he's originally really a starter, and he comes in there and he stops this whole momentum. I mean, and the other thing is, you saw the play that Sasaki did. He caught that ball coming out of the mound. He just snagged it. He snagged it, and he throws to first like nothing. Hey, I got this. No problem. And it stops the rally right there. It stops the rally. Boom.
But immediately there was a pitching change. For the bottom of the 8th, the Toronto said, "Oh no, we gotta do the same." They did the same thing, like you called it. Brissett came in to face Hernandez.
Yeah. So the 9th inning, was the eighth and ninth inning was a lot of tactical adjustments. And in the top of the ninth, I mean, there was really nothing going on at all. I'm looking at the scoreboard here. I mean, it was just nothing going on in the ninth inning.
Because of the pitching change, the tactical pitching change that Toronto did by bringing Bissett in.
Right.
And
right.
Sasaki was also tactical because he shut down Toronto. So those two pitchers, they went back to back. They went back to back.
Yeah, there was a little bit.
The bottom of the ninth was when Howard came in.
Yeah, it was so between so the Dodgers brought in a few pitchers at one time, a couple times. Sasaki ended the situation. I mean, so between training, Dryer, and then finally they brought in Sasaki, and that stopped everything. Then in the later innings, now you bring in Sheehan. So the Dodgers put Sheehan in there, and he gave the Dodgers really almost three critical innings. That really held the Dodgers, kept the Toronto in check. The Toronto countered with the same thing. They did the same thing, and they countered with what's his name? After they came with Bassett, later on they came with Hoffman. Hoffman, who was normally a closer, Toronto used him early in the later innings, early in the innings. So they used him for the eighth and the ninth and all that.
Yeah,
so
but before we go too far, I want to point out that in the bottom of the ninth, Ohtani tried to steal the base.
Yeah.
And what happened there, man? That was like a footy change or something like that.
Yeah. So what happened was he did a pop-up slide and he changed feet. In the middle of changing his feet, I think it was kind of Kalefa had the glove up and got him close to the groin, right in the groin area, right in the groin area. But here's the thing: two things happened.
Yeah.
The fact that Shohei Ohtani flip-flopped his feet, but the fact is also that Kana Kalefa kept the glove on the body of Ohtani. Yeah. And that's what the umpire was looking at. Did the glove still touch the body of Ohtani? At the same time, he's looking at Ohtani's feet. Why the flip-flop? Because he had his foot in his bag, and then when he flip-flopped, he lost in the middle of flip-flopping his feet. Both feet were in the air, but not in the bag. And that's why they called him out.
I know why he flip-flopped his feet, because the glove was in the...
yeah, he kind of tagged him.
Play Puppet Master.
Yeah, he tagged him in the crotch area.
He's like, oh, hold up, get off my... But that was really controversial, and we had a discussion. Those guys had a discussion. That last, I think, was that even challenge? I think that was challenge.
That was challenge. That was actually. Let me see, challenge or I think it was a challenge. It was a challenge. It was a review. Yeah, they did a review. It was a challenge, and of course the Dodgers
did not. That was a tactical move too, to challenge.
Yeah. I mean,
to slow the game down, if nothing else.
If anything, how about if Ohtani would have stole second? That would have changed the game a little bit. It would have been 6-5, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, one of these guys, Freddie Freeman or Betts, will get a base hit. You don't know what's going to happen, right? I mean, it turned the tide a little bit, and it kind of slowed the game down a little bit. The momentum shifted a little bit. The momentum shifted.
It shifted enough that the Dodgers stayed scoreless.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was no more runs after that.
Yeah.
Edman popped out going into the top of the 11th, and they had, I think Sheehan was still in.
Yeah. Yeah, Sheehan was still in for the Dodgers. He's still in for the Dodgers.
For the Dodgers, excuse me.
Yeah.
Because Guerrero Jr. popped out, and he was the first at bat.
Yeah.
And that was a rare pop up for Guerrero Jr. because that guy's outstanding, bro.
Yeah.
He don't miss. That was a rare miss for him.
Yeah, he's been clutch, man. He's been one of the most consistent hitters in all the playoffs. Between Shohei Ohtani and Guerrero, I mean, Guerrero has been clutch. He's been, showing clutch. Another important thing in the game too, Springer had to get out of the game and
That's
was
right.
replaced.
That's
He
right.
was replaced, and that was unfortunate for Toronto because um, you had Springer. Um, Ty France became the pinch hitter for him because he couldn't finish the at bat with the injury, and
Yeah, he
I think
twisted his back or his groin or something.
they said it was a growing injury, growing, and you know how those things go. It could be day to day, it could be weeks, it
Mm-hmm.
could be. I mean, he may be gone for the rest of
This
the
might be it.
game.
Yeah, this might be
The
it.
World Series might be it for him, which is
He might be.
unfortunate because Springer's been one of the clutch hitters. He's a leadoff hitter. He's been clutch. He's been getting on base. He draws walks. He knows how to get his hits, and every once in a while he hits a leadoff home run and puts Toronto in the lead. And
And he's a controversial player when he plays in Los Angeles because if you remember correctly, he was part of the team that was doing that shenanigans in Houston. You
yeah,
know,
the clap,
yeah,
the clap,
yeah, all that stuff, and
the garbage can clap.
yeah,
Yeah.
and and Los Angeles fans have not forgiven him because if you notice, every time
Oh
he
no.
comes out, they boo him. They
Oh
boo
yeah.
him like nobody's uncle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
now that he's out, he's not going to be that antagonist that's gonna distract, you know, at least the fans from whatever's
Right.
going on in the team. So
Yeah.
that
Right.
brings us to the bottom of the 11th, where we get a new pitcher from uh, Toronto
Yeah.
in Fisher.
So in the let's
In the
see in
bottom of the
the
11th, Fisher comes out. Hernandez strikes out. Page goes out. Then Otani, they start walking him.
yes.
They
Yeah.
start walking him there because now
Yeah.
we're at the bottom of the 11th. They think they're gonna close this out right then and there or close it out soon. So they start walking Otani.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts base hit and Freeman pops up out to end the inning. We're in the
Right.
top of the 12th now, and
Right.
Sheehan is still pitching.
Right. Right. He's doing this thing. I tell you, the kid really pitched well. He really gets it under control. He originally came to the Dodgers farm system as a starter, and so the Dodgers have been putting him in dual situations, starting him and putting him in the rotation. And guess what? It worked out because look at him in the World Series as a rotation guy, doing relief work, and he's very valuable for the Dodgers. I mean, coming off the bullpen and giving and allowing no runs for a team of Toronto that could score games. Yeah, that's a fantastic game, fantastic pitching by the kid, man.
The top of the 12th, was his last there because Kirk, Captain Kirk again, that
Yeah,
Joker, little stocking Joker, he walked,
yeah, yeah,
and then Straw did a bunt, tried to bunt,
yeah,
and he did it blatantly. I'm not mad at them for trying, to score because now you had Kirk on first base,
right,
and Straw tries to bunt. Clemente comes out.
right.
He's out. Jimenez, I'm saying his
Yeah,
name wrong.
he Jimenez, yeah, yeah,
Jimenez, excuse me. He
yeah,
walked,
yeah,
and then Scherzer base hits. Bases
mm-hmm.
are loaded at this point, and now we got a pitching change.
Yeah,
And guess
yeah,
who comes out? The veteran.
yeah, yeah.
Kershaw
Clayton
comes
Kershaw.
out to finish the inning off with Luke.
Yeah,
He strikes
yeah.
him out.
So Luke's grounds out to second and
Right.
ends the game with a 3 outs right there. But you know what? Kershaw does what he does, right? He throws these breaking balls and makes you ground out. So you're either going to strike out or you're going to ground out, one or the other. And he did his job. Boom.
And they made it clear that he don't have his fastball like he used to. But
No,
88
no,
miles an hour is pretty good.
no, yeah. I mean, his fastball's not what it used to be, but he still has a good sweeper, a slider. He still has a good curveball. And his curveball has always been his Hall of Fame pitch. So he used the curveball, and Nathan Lukes grounds out, and it stops the rally right there. Boom, Toronto's done. Now we're on to the next inning, right?
No,
But
at the bottom of the 12th, Fisher's
yeah,
on the mound. He strikes out. Hernandez pops out, and then
yeah,
Key Hernandez pops out. Now we're in the
yeah,
13th
yeah,
inning.
right, right. And it goes quietly.
It
Goes
goes
quietly.
it goes quietly. Again, there's no scores. Rojas tries to sacrifice bunt and to advance the runner. I
Mm.
thought that was cool. The veteran coming out. We had a pitching change there where
Right,
Lara
right,
was pitching, but
right,
Rojas tried to sacrifice bunt to advance the runner. It did. Bases were loaded, but again, no can do.
right.
Lara did his thing, and Freeman popped out to center, and now we in the 14th inning. Nothing happened there as well. There was some controversial stuff. I think in the bottom of the 14th,
Yeah. So in the bottom of the
we had
14,
Madrigal hitting first
yeah,
and second.
yeah, Tusker Hernandez singles to center to start the inning, and then what's his name? Tommy Edmonds pops up to second, which gave it the so now Max Muncy got was on base. He
He
walked,
walked.
and
Yeah.
then yeah, and then Tusker Hernandez hits a single. So now it's first and second.
Right.
But Tommy Edmonds pops up. So now it's two outs. And then Miguel Rojas grounds out the third to Clement, and then he throws to first all the way to Guerrero, and that created the third out. So it stopped the rally right there. It stopped the rally right there. So
And
that
again, it was again another tactical movement because Rojas was never in the game to begin with at the
no,
beginning.
he
Louis
came in.
Rojas.
No, he. So Rojas. So what happened was they took Rojas and put him at second base. They moved Tommy Edman from second to center field, right? And so Kike Hernandez comes out of the game. And of course Andy Pajas was already out, so they put Alex Call in center field. Alex Call was playing center field,
That
so
was
Andy
that
Pajas.
was strategic though.
Right, strategic. It became more of a defensive. So Alex Call, very good defensively. Tommy Edmonds can play any field, second, center, whatever. He plays infield, outfield. He plays both outfield and infield very well. Miguel Rojas is a very good second baseman. He's been a very good bench player and veteran for the Dodgers for a number of years now, and it solidified the infield. So yeah, there was a couple of guys that were replaced there. But
Solidify the infield.
this is Dave Roberts at his best. I mean, he takes players from his bench, puts it in defensive positions, and it's like it doesn't skip a beat. These guys are going to play well defensively. Tommy Edmonds is a very talented ball player. He's a very good defensive player. He's been a Gold Glove player almost all his career, and now he goes to the Dodgers and does the Gold Glove defense in center field as well. So you saw him caught that ball in center field, man. The Toronto, yeah, he snagged it right there in center field. That no problem. So what a great thing to have such players that can play different positions. And Dave Roberts can pull out his what they call it the jackknife, and it just pulls out any different player that he wants. He could use any player he wants tactically and moves them around, shift them around to different positions of the field.
There was a lot
What a
of
great
players from the dugout that were out there that they did not start the game, man. By
no,
15, we had a lot of new faces in the game, and
yeah,
it was chess. They were not playing checkers. These guys
no,
were playing
no,
chess. These managers were going back and forth. They were making calls when they thought they would slow down the game and give them a momentum, or slow down the momentum by challenging for no reason. There was times that like we asked, why is he challenging? That don't make any
yeah,
sense. And
yeah,
we knew then when we saw the replay. Oh, okay,
yeah,
he's slowing down because they're about to charge now.
yeah,
And now
yeah.
we're in the bottom of the 15th, and I think Lara's in. He strikes out 1, 2, 3. We had the top of the 16. Clean or comes in.
Klein, yeah, Klein, yeah,
Klein. Wow,
Klein.
I messed it up.
And that,
Appreciate it.
yeah, that kid
One
was
for
he was fantastic. He was fantastic, man. That kid was he was
respect,
nails,
respect,
nails. Respect given to the kid. He was doing his
respect to
thing,
the
man.
kid. Yeah,
He was
three,
doing
one,
it.
two,
You
three
know,
with pop ups and fly balls, and then
you, you know, we talk about so much about how the players were being maneuvered, but how about the managers flip flopping the bullpens? It became a battle of the bullpens, right? It became a battle of the bullpens. Whose bullpen is gonna give what up, right? Who's stronger? Whose bullpen is stronger? And both teams, man, I mean, it was matching up every inning, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15, you know, it was, one for one, I got you out, you're gonna get me out, I'm gonna change my pitcher, I'm gonna change this guy. I mean, it was a fantastic strategy between the two teams, man. And the bullpens, you got to give your hats off to the bullpens, man. They they
they
did
did
their
it. They
thing.
did it. I mean, the managers put them out there and they executed because
Yeah,
the game stayed scoreless, like we said, all the way to the 18th. So we're
yeah,
down. We're here at the bottom of the 16th, and Lauer's in. Smith strike out 1, 2, 3.
yep,
Muncy strikes out. Hernandez strikes out, and at the top of the 17. Again, we're back to the same situation now. Clean is still doing this thing.
yeah,
One,
yep.
two, three. That was quick. There was
One, two, three.
no major
No
incidents
major,
there.
no incidents. Yeah,
The 17th, bottom of the 17th. This is crazy. We were
yeah,
saying this. Saying it out loud sounds crazy. Bottom of the 17th. Rojas is grounds. Call hits a base hit. Otani is walked again.
yes,
Otani, they're not letting him bat at all. Every time he comes out, they walk him. Like he doesn't even set up at the. It's automatic. Like I think you said
yeah,
the manager throws 4 fingers up,
yeah,
and
yeah. No, we're not gonna let Otani hurt us. Otani walked 4 times, 4 times. There was no there was no way that he's going to hurt Toronto manager Schneider. He's like, I am not letting this guy hurt me. I don't care if he's coming up. I'm walking him. I'm walking him. This is he's not going to hurt me. So, hey, good for Schneider. That's a strategy. I mean, would you pitch to Otani? I don't think I want. I don't know if I want to do that.
if I was
You
a
know.
Dodger, I'm asking for him to pitch to me. Be like, pitch to Otani, pitch to Otani.
Yeah,
But if I was
yeah,
Toronto, I would have done the same exact thing and be like, nah. We not. Because he was already
absolutely,
hurting them. He was already
absolutely,
hurting them. He's the reason
absolutely,
why the game was 5-5. Because if you take
absolutely.
away his home runs, it would not be 5-5.
And Otani seems like he's seen the ball very good. He's had 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and he already hit some home runs in the previous games. What makes you think that you want to pitch to him? Absolutely not. I wouldn't do it. I mean, do you think
And
I'm going to give up the game?
he's the only batter that had it from the Dodgers that really had a hot bat. Because
Yeah,
Mookie Betts was quiet most of the. We're talking about
he was
18
quiet.
innings. He was
Yeah,
quiet as hell.
yeah,
Tejas, who came right before Otani,
yeah,
he was quiet
yeah,
as heck, and that's why
yeah,
they finally take him out. And let me say
yeah,
something publicly, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
These announcers need to stop being disrespectful. Okay,
yeah,
these guys, they're young baseball players. They're in the World Series. You are not in the World Series. There's no reason for you to jump on a young guy who's doing his best and then constantly berating him with, luckily this guy is up and Pajas is not gonna do nothing. That's wrong. That's wrong.
yeah,
I'm all
yeah,
about shit talking, but if you're gonna if you need to be a professional. Let the fans do the shit talking. You need to be a professional. Let the other team do the shit talking. But while you're doing a broadcast, do not be shit talking guys down especially when they're in the World Series and you're not.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great point, Tony. A good point, well taken. It's not like Pajas is striking out on purpose. I mean, he's doing the best he can. At times, Tony, there's players that fall into a little bit of a slump. Unfortunately, Pajas is in a slump, and so Dave Roberts took him out of the game on the 13th inning, and then put Alex Call. And by the way, Dave Roberts, who is a great manager, realize, hey, I got to go with the better player right now. We're trying to win the game, and that's the right move. Dave Roberts did the right move. Replace him
It
with
was,
Alex
because
Cole.
Call
You
was
know,
getting base hit after base hit
yeah,
until
yeah,
until they finally scored. he became
Yeah,
a threat that Toronto couldn't
yeah,
because they were walking what do you call it, Otani,
yeah, yeah,
and Pajas came before Otani.
yeah.
They needed that on base to put the pitcher
Yeah.
for Toronto off his game
Right.
because now he's watching first base as opposed to
Yeah.
trying to pitch to Otani. And then as soon as that happened with Cole made first base. Now they pitched to Otani. They still
Yeah.
walked him, but
Yeah.
they pitched to him because
Yeah. Pitch to. Yeah.
I think Little did that. Was it Little?
Yeah. Little. Yeah. Little. Yeah. Little was pitching at that time. Yeah. Little pitching. He pitched in the 17. Yeah. He was Little was the pitcher for Toronto. But you know what?
Yeah,
The Dodgers were. If you notice, the Dodgers were threatening in the 16 and 17.
that's correct.
Um, so Edmonds strikes out, but they still had first and second. But then again, here we go, and you called this, by the way. Mookie Betts pops up again. He pops out, and it was first and second, and he pops out, and the inning goes dead again. We killed the rally, and the Dodgers were unable to sustain that rally again. They had first and second kind of two times in a row now, and they just could not score. But Toronto with the
Yes,
bullpen,
Mookie Betts was underperforming, but again,
yeah,
he's a franchise player, so you can't
yeah,
say much about him, and you're not going to take him out the game. So
no, so of course
Mookie
not.
Betts needs to get his game up, but okay, it didn't matter at this point because, like I said, his whole game was quiet. The
Yeah,
whole 18 innings, but
yeah,
we had a hero at the end for the
yeah,
Los
yeah.
Angeles Dodgers, correct?
Mookie Betts played a good defensive game throughout the game. He played all eight, and he was a good defender at shortstop. He played his
He
defense,
definitely was a good
and
defender.
you're right. And you're right. He needs to step up his game offensively. The Dodgers are going to need him because you can't depend on Otani all the time, or Freeman, or Teoscar Hernandez. Somebody else has to step up. You're still playing Toronto Blue Jays. This is the World Series. You don't want Toronto to get momentum.
That's the
But
last thing
here
you
we
want.
go. Yeah, but here you go. We are now on the 18th, and here's where things get a little dicey. So on the top of the 18,
Clean with
uh,
peace.
t- yeah, on top of the 18, there was Tyler Heineman, and the Toronto was the first time they threatened, and it's been a few innings. They had second and third, and then Tyler Heineman strikes out with second and third. What happened there? What's going on? It's you got second and third. This is a chance for Toronto to get a score and a run, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen for Toronto. So what happens when you don't score in that inning? Now you give momentum back to the Dodgers. So now the Dodgers come back in the bottom of the 18, and man, what happened there? What happened in the 18? This is ridiculous.
Little got even smaller. He's a big dude, but he got
Yeah.
smaller. What happened with Little?
Well, you're doing a 3-2 count to a Hall of Famer, and you put a ball right down the middle, and here goes Freddie Freeman and hits a ball right to center field, and it's gone. I think everybody in the stadium. Cookie was like this the
Yeah.
whole game, like this, and then all of a sudden, when Freeman hits that ball, she goes,
Yeah.
"What? What has just
Hallelujah.
happened?" No,
My
here's the
prayers
thing.
was answered.
Here's the thing. Everybody knew that ball was gone.
Yeah, it was
Everybody
gone.
knew that ball's gone.
It was
Even
gone.
the pitcher, little, he became very little,
He
like this.
became very little, yeah.
I gave up the home run ball. I just gave it up to Freddie Freeman. But you know what? You got to think about this. When you have a lineup of Otani, Betts, and Freddie Freeman, and then you have Teoscar Hernandez and little Tommy Edmonds and Kiki, you know, these guys have the power to hit the ball anytime. You're looking at a lineup here. You got 4 or 5 guys here that can hit 30 home runs in the regular season. Mookie Betts, he's been a 30 home run guy. Shohei Ohtani hits you 50. Freddie Freeman gets you 25, 30. Toscar Hernandez hit 30 home runs the year before. He hit 20 something, 27, 28 this year. You got power in that lineup. And you know what I like about Dave Roberts' lineup? He spreads it out. He spreads it out. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the Yankees and the Mets, they're top heavy. His lineup is spread out like this. And anyone in that lineup, to include Tommy Edmonds, can hit you, can hurt you at any moment.
But
can hurt you.
I think I said this during the game. I believe, this is just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
Yeah, sure.
I believe that Little and the manager, this was the one crucial mistake they made. I think they underestimated Freeman. I think they really underestimated him. They should have threw a ground ball or something that was, a curve ball or something that's going to hit the dirt, not down the middle, especially not the first pitch.
Yeah. No, you don't throw something down the middle to a professional hitter like Freddie Freeman, a Hall of Famer, a surefire Hall of Famer. You don't do that. You just
you don't do that. Especially you don't have a good feel for him. Like there's no way Little had a good feel for Friedman. You don't know what he had on him.
And here's the thing. You remember we were talking about the matchups. Little was a lefty. He's a lefty, and he was pitching against who? A left-handed hitter. Here's where the professionalism of a baseball player comes in. Freddie Freeman can hit both righties and lefties, right? That's why he's a Hall of Famer. He's been known to hit the righties and lefties pretty much equally in his career. So if you throw somebody out there, I mean, but you broke the point right there, Tony. You put it right down the middle, right there. You said it. You throw something down the middle. Don't expect Freddie Freeman not to make you pay. Don't expect that. Don't expect that.
And I mean,
down the middle like that. Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. Freeman punished him for that mistake, and they lost. After 18 innings, after 18 rough innings for both teams,
right?
That one mistake cost Toronto the game, and now it's 2-1. Now it's a deficit.
Absolutely.
And they still got 2 more games in Los Angeles, correct?
Absolutely. It's 2 more games in Los Angeles. I mean, think about this. Los Angeles can really wrap this up, right? They can really wrap this up in Los Angeles. Wrap it up. I mean, you don't want to go back to Toronto. So the Dave Roberts and team, the whole team, their whole thing mentality in their mind right now. We want to wrap this up here in Los Angeles. We want to wrap this up. We don't want to go to Toronto. We don't want to take this back to Canada because things can happen over there, in Canada. So let's take care of business at home where we are right now, which is Los Angeles. They should take care of business.
The 5-6, this is a really close game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a pitching duel. It wasn't a pitching duel because this game would have been over. It was a pitching duel.
Yeah.
I mean, it went 18 innings with all kinds of strategies and tricks, and even the catching and that Ohtani situation with the bag, I think that was a trick too to hit him in the crotch. Like, come on, man. He pushed. I saw him push Ohtani off the bag. He leaned into him, but he did it with the glove. So you can't blame him for nothing when he's using his glove to push Ohtani off the bag. Yeah. But it worked. I mean, the referee already had called Ohtani out.
Yeah, it's a veteran move by kind of Kalefa, man. He veteran move. It's a veteran move.
It's a veteran move.
Yeah, it's veteran move. Veteran move. And to keep the glove right there in the body, right? Keep the glove in the body. So
there was a lot of that going on.
We know it's a game of chess. It's a game of chess. Who's gonna crack first? Who's gonna crack first? And and you're playing. And here's the thing: you're playing in Los Angeles in the bottom of the 18th inning. You know what really was exciting about this game? Every bottom of the bottom of the 16, the bottom of the 17, the bottom of and now the bottom of every bottom of those the last innings was exciting because the Dodgers had a chance to win it. Every inning, they had 1 or 2 people on base, and you, as a Los Angeles Dodgers fan, you had a chance to see, oh my God, they're gonna do it. This is it. They're gonna do it, and it didn't happen, right? In the 16 or 17, but it happened in the 18. Thank you, Freddie Freeman. You are a surefire Hall of Famer. Hats out to you, Freddie
thank you
Freeman.
both for the managers, man. Thank you both for the managers.
Oh man, absolutely,
If it wasn't
absolutely,
for
man.
them tactically, pulling the right guys out, putting the right guys in,
Yeah,
pitch running. I
yeah,
mean, come
yeah,
on, man.
yeah,
They did it all.
yeah. It was pinch running, bunting, moving the runners, runners running, and there was a couple of times where Toronto tried to score all the way from first, and they didn't make it.
Exactly.
You know,
I think
it,
Kalefa or whatever he tried it. He
yeah,
tried to go all
yeah.
the way.
Try to go all the way. Yeah, but I mean, these play. But here's the other thing: how valuable is Tommy Edmonds picking off the fly from because Teoscar Hernandez threw it above his head. He picked it up and then he threw it right to home plate quickly. The presence of mind to throw the ball, the player out at home plate. That was fantastic. The relay. It's called a relay, man. It was fantastic.
I think
Little Tommy Edmonds.
Sasaki did something similar from the mound when he
Yeah,
snagged the ball. There was another
yeah,
pitcher that did the same thing. He snagged the ball out of the
yeah.
air and threw it to
Right.
first. Those are
Yes,
clutch.
yes.
Those are clutch moves, man.
I mean, how about the one Klein? The ball came directly to him. He put his glove out and caught it in midair.
Yeah.
It was a very he was in pitching position, and then all he did was this: put his
Yeah.
glove out there and caught it real quick.
And
I mean, that's called reflexes.
clutch moves, man. You don't let the
Yeah,
ball go into the outfield and do all kinds
right.
of craziness. You
I
can
mean,
get a guy out at
reflexes.
first immediately.
Yeah, I mean, if Klein didn't put his glove out, right, that ball would have been a base hit to center, and that would have changed the base hit to right center. That would have been changing the course of the game for Toronto. It would have been first and third at that point, but that ball caught it in the air, 3 outs right there, boom, ended everything, 3 outs.
But let me
So
ask
yeah,
you this:
man,
how do you believe that jet lag or anything had to do with how they lost this game and segue into game 4? Will tonight's game that went so long and took out so
right,
many players into this game, there was like the whole 40-man team was out for both teams. How will this affect the teams in game 4? So two major questions. Does jet lag, because I mean, it was like 3 in the morning, and we talked about that with
mm-hmm.
our experience.
Right,
Where
right,
one time zone to another time zone, and then
sure,
you got feelings that if you're on the East Coast, you think it's midnight, so your body wants to go to
yeah,
sleep. And these guys, Toronto's from the East Coast, Los Angeles. We're talking about
mm-hmm.
3-4 hour difference. I mean,
Right,
how
right.
did that affect them in this game? Did it even affect them? Because I know they're professional players, but forget about this for that. I mean, for that major part, I want you to answer if you think that affected this game. But game 4,
Yeah. No, man. Thinking professionally as a player, I mean, jet lag will affect you in some way or another. But I also think that the adrenaline as the game goes on, I think it gets you to get to into the game. I think if you notice in the beginning of the innings, the game was kind of a little sloppy, a little bit slow, and then it kind of like after the ninth inning, kind of picked up a little bit. It was like a lot of adrenaline. And I think when you see the fans, whether it was Los Angeles fans out there, but when you hear the stadium, both teams are here to play. And I told you, and I tell you that they came to play. It was a strategy game. Both teams came to play. Yes, maybe jet lag might have hit them, but you know what? By the ninth inning, you forget about the jet lag. You're like, oh my God, I got to play this game. We're 5-5. We got to win. Somebody got to win. Leading up, and you know what? And you brought up a good point leading into the segue. Look how many players and pitchers were used in this game. So tomorrow, the starters of the game tomorrow, guess what? Shohei Ohtani is game 4 starter tomorrow. Shohei Ohtani. For the Blue Jays, it'll be Shane Bieber. And by the way, Shane Bieber was warming up in the bullpen today.
he was.
He was warming up because the Blue Jays didn't know that how far this is going to go. They were thinking, wow, we're going to have to get Shane Bieber out there because but you know what? Tomorrow is going to be a fantastic game. You got Shane Bieber, a veteran who knows how to pitch, a veteran who's won the Cy Young. He's won the Cy Young. He knows how to pitch. And you got Shohei Ohtani, who is Shohei Ohtani, right? He's going to pitch and hit. So he has a chance to stop you with the pitching. and then he's going to kill you with the bat. So I think it's going to be an exciting game. But you know what? The momentum seems to shift to the Dodgers because they're playing at home, and I think Dodgers will take Game 4, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The Blue Jays don't have George Springer.
That's
We
right.
don't know if he's going to play, and also we don't know if Bo Bichette is going to be able to play. He looked like he was a little injured going around in first too.
That's right.
So you're missing two of the better hitters in your lineup are going to be gone. And if this continues, you did replace some players for them, but guess what? They're not Bo Bichette and they're not Springer. They don't hit like those guys.
Yeah,
They're good.
Springer's a World Series champion.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's a World Series champion. He's a very this George Springer is what, second or third in home runs in playoffs history or something like that.
Yeah.
The guy is clutch. He's clutch, and he's like the engine that keeps the Toronto moving. Because then what happens with the engine? The next hitter in the third lineup, in the right hitting third, is what? Vlad Guerrero. But Springer is sitting at first base ready to be scored on, right? Because you got Black Guerrero coming. You got all these other guys coming. Without Springer, man, I think there's a momentum shift here. Without having Bo Bichette, without having Springer, Toronto is almost offensiveless now. Almost offensiveless. And if Shane Bieber doesn't have a game tomorrow, Los Angeles is going to win this game. And Shohei Ohtani and Freeman and all these guys are going to be the heroes again.
And and again, it was a double header tonight. Whether we like it or not, it was a double header. 18 innings. You know, so I don't know how that's going to affect the players because they only have a couple of hours to rest and get back to
game face, right?
There's no Woody travel day in between 3 and 4 and 4 and 5. So either Toronto turns it up tomorrow or they're going to be in 3-1 deficit, and a lot of teams don't come back from that.
No. Historically, 70 to 80% of the teams do not come back from 3-1. It's very tough, very, very tough. Very, very tough, especially in the World Series. That's going to be very tough. Yeah, Toronto, they're hoping that they could tie the series. But, man, Tony, like you said earlier, man, the momentum sure shifted to the Dodgers today, big time. It seemed like they were threatening, even when they were in the 15, 16, 17 inning. They were threatening. They were putting pressure on Toronto every inning. Man on first, man on second, first and third, whatever. They were putting pressure on Toronto throughout the whole game. And then you have Shohei Ohtani. You got to walk him, because if you don't walk him, this game would have probably been over earlier. So yeah, man. The momentum shifted to the Dodgers. I expect tomorrow to be a very, very another one of those crafty games. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a chess match against tomorrow, Tony.
It could be totally a chess match. I mean, they went a whole almost 9 innings without scoring, either team without scoring.
Right.
And if that dugout holds out, and if the dugout from the Dodgers hold out, it could be another long night tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a long day. But yeah, we got so again we got Shane Bieber going for Toronto and Shohei Ohtani pitching for the Dodgers. Man, you can't ask for a better matchup than that.
But we're here for this. It's October, man. October.
Yeah, man.
America's pastime. We come to see the best of the best, and right now, honestly, these are the 2 best teams of this season.
Yeah,
there's no
absolutely.
doubt about it. With no question, no debates. If no other, these are the 2 teams that needed to be in the World Series.
Yeah. Toronto got here with tenacity, finesse, and they are a pain in the butt. They're a pesky team. Toronto is a pesky team, man. They don't give up, man. They just do not give up. And the Dodgers got here because it's the Dodgers. The Dodgers are experienced. They've been there before. They have Dave Roberts. They have Shohei Ohtani. They got the superstars. The Dodgers made it here, because they're the Dodgers, right? This is what they do, and the Dodgers signed these players for this moment. This is the moment that they came here for. This is the reason why they're here. This is the reason why. And until somebody in the National League steps up, man, it seems like it's going to be the Dodgers, man. We need, you can't say nothing wrong. The Dodgers are the kings right now, and of the National League, and
They're the
all hats
defending
out to the
champions.
Dodgers.
They're the they're
So
the, they're
hats.
the defending champions. Respect to them,
That's right.
but I'm not gonna put Toronto down just yet until
Yeah, yeah.
after game 4 because remember game 1. We cannot forget game 1. There has to be a little.
Yeah,
I think it was
yeah.
11-4 or something like that.
11-4.
Game 1.
Yeah, 11-4.
Please,
Yeah.
and they broke a historical record by 9 innings in 1 run. I mean,
Yeah.
in nine runs in 1 inning.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Come
know you're
on,
right.
man. You cannot write this team off. But they
No, you
got
can't.
two hurt players that gonna really hurt the team.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. That's critical. That's critical.
And the lack of rest, like the Dodgers are
Yeah.
the Dodgers they sleeping in the house. They
Yeah.
cutting,
Yeah.
a lot of them are cutting up with their wives right now.
Right.
Real
Right.
comfortable.
Right.
Where the other
Yeah.
ones, the Toronto, they in hotel rooms, all
hmm
uncomfortable.
Yeah. You bring in the Toronto. Started out with Springer, Nathan Lukes, Vladimir Guerrero, Bochette, Dalton Varsho, Alejandro Kirk, Addison Barger, Ernie Clement, and Andres Jimenez. The only ones left in the game of the starting lineup was Guerrero, Varsho, Clement, and Jimenez.
Yep.
4 guys left from the original team.
Lineup, yep.
Yeah, it's either they were taken out because of injuries, or they were taken out because they were a pinch hitter, or they had to take it out because they can't run. Right? That's what happened in Toronto. And unfortunately, Toronto, the players just didn't step up. The Dodgers took momentum, and the Dodgers won the game. They did too much power. The Dodgers have a lot of power up top of that lineup. And Toronto just doesn't have enough. And it's critical now that George Springer may be out of the game, and Bochette, we don't know his status, right? We don't know what's going to happen to him. So, yeah, Toronto's got a tough way to go tomorrow. It's going to be a long, sleepy night tonight.
Hey,
So.
Professor G, man, I appreciate you for staying up this late to do the podcast with me. We are professionals, so we don't hold back for nothing. They did their post game shows. We did our post game show, and guess what? I appreciate you for sticking it out like a trooper.
Hey, we're in it to win it, man. We're in it to win it. We decided that we want to do this, and we're going to do it. And hey, thank you, Tony, for having me in your show, man. Another spectacular show. It was a great game, and I enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed the game. I really did. I enjoyed the game, even though my Mets were not part of this, but I enjoyed the game because I'm a baseball fan. So
I had the same thing. First, let me say, I wish the Mets were in it, but I also wish the Yankees were in it too.
That's right.
New York needs a championship. It's been a drought for New York.
Yes.
More of a drought for the Mets, but hey,
yeah.
We'll do better next year. You can update us on some changes that you heard about the Mets and the Yankees.
Yeah, well, there's a coaching change. So we have the Mets have a new batting coach, and he's originally came from the Houston Astros. So they have a new batting coach for that. The Yankees ended up getting so some of the coaches from the Mets went to the Yankees, and then we'll talk about that in another segment. But there's been both teams have been decimated. They both took out coaches completely. The Mets more than the Yankees, though. The Yankees still have a few others still left, but it looks
not going anywhere.
Yeah, and kind of find out, I just saw in the news tonight that the first base coach for the Mets, Nolan Richardson, he's I think he's got another offer for another team. I think he's gonna took another offer with some other team. I think. Yeah, and I like him. I like him because he really, if you look at the Mets were like the third or fourth highest team in stolen bases. And even Juan Soto stole 30 bases. When did Juan Soto ever steal 30 bases? That's the first time he's done in his career with the Mets, 30 stolen bases. You know, and it's because Richardson, he's the running coach, and he had the Mets running. Now that he's not there, what kind of game are the Mets going to play next year? What's going to happen? I mean, sometimes you make a change, it may not be all changes may not be good. Yeah, it might not be good. So, we'll see next year how this happens. Chavez was the hitting coach for the Mets. He went back to the Yankees, so he's a hitting coach for the Yankees now. Andy Chavez.
Hey, thank you for that Yankees Mets update. I'm sure you'll keep us more up to date tomorrow night when hopefully we don't go 18 innings, but if we do, we'll be here for it because
absolutely
we want to see good games. We don't want to see easy walkovers and sweeps that are unnecessary, especially when we're here for baseball and not really for any of the two teams because we don't care.
Yeah,
we don't have no dog in this fight. But any closing thoughts for Game 4?
No, it's gonna be a interesting matchup of pitchers. Depending how Shane Bieber pitches tomorrow will depend the whole flavor of how Toronto's gonna attack this whole Dodgers lineup. I mean, Shane Bieber has to have one of the best pitching performances of his life because right now the Dodgers are hot. Shohei Ohtani is hot. Freddie Freeman just finished with a home run here in the 18th. Teoscar Hernandez, he went 4 for 7.
Yes.
I mean, you still got really hot hitters in the Dodgers lineup. We don't know the status of Bichette, and we don't know the status definitely of Springer. So it'll be a game time decision, and also that you have Shohei Ohtani pitching tomorrow. That's even more exciting. More exciting because you got a guy, Hall of Famer, right? A guy that's going to pitch and hit because you're going to see him. You're going to see him pitching to you. And then in the next inning, he's going to be hitting against you. Who does that? Shohei Ohtani. Only Shohei Ohtani. That's it. That's right. This is the man. Yeah. We're seeing one of the best players in history. We're watching this with our own eyes in our generation.
That's right. Well, with that note, I appreciate you. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Viewers, thank you for the privilege of your time. And remember to keep your hands up, chin tucked, and eyes open. And protect yourself at all times, baby.
That's right.